Hello everybody, and welcome back to more Arknights lore. This time, we're checking out one of the suggestions that you guys left for us in the comments. Now, initially we wanted to check out the races video, but that's like part 2 to this video, so we figured, you know what, might as well check out the both of them all in one go. So yeah, we'll check out part 1 and part 2, because they're pretty short videos, and with the way that we record things, we usually set it about an hour. Hopefully we don't yap too much. We'll see.
We were kind of intimidated. We don't usually do big, long videos like this one.
What do we react to? We just react to shorts? Just TikToks?
Just a stream of TikTok, Sniper Wolf style. You know?
Oh no, how could you mention that name? The cursed name! Anyways, my dudes, if for some reason you haven't already, please go and support the original videos. We'll have a link to those at the very top of the description, like always.
Welcome to Terrastorian, the channel we explain Arknights lore. I am Akka, and in this video, I will provide a simple breakdown of the lore of Arknights for both beginner and casual players. The lore you'll discuss in this video should be split into several sections, such as terminology, the nations, the various races, and the threats that this world and its inhabitants face.
Now, that's been something I've been asking a lot throughout our videos, like what is the actual threat? Who is this lumberjack person that the doctor keeps talking about, right? And from the comments, apparently it is some sort of like cosmic being. It's not the Cthulhu things in the ocean. That seems to be something humanity created or doctors people created for some reason or another. But actual lumberjack is more like Galactus, I feel. And we had created like a sphere to block his sight from us, which was kind of funny. We might get more of that details, more of the details of that here. We'll see.
Just a heads up, there are some spoilers ahead. If you prefer to read and play the game without spoilers, then stop. If not, then let's get started. I think we're a little late
for spoilers.
Okay, so yeah. Since we started it, we have downloaded the game, we have been playing through it. I will say that thank goodness we checked out these videos before we played the game. Because I'll be honest, dudes, like the first few chapters are not it, man. And some of the translation and the typos that are still present, it just doesn't feel like a polished product at all.
Are funny.
Yeah, they're kind of funny. From what 𝙉𝙀𝙒 has been saying, it seems to be more so Yostar's fault on this front. And I can definitely see that. It's kind of a shame, and it's also probably one of the main reasons why I bounced off of the game when I tried it out initially. Because it just doesn't have the same feel. Like, it doesn't introduce any of this to you at all. Probably until much, much later in the game's lifetime. Some comments were also saying that the whole, like, Teresa and the sarcasm thing, that was actually written before the game was released, and was going to be the start of the game. But then they decided to shift it to when the doctor woke up instead. I forget the exact reasoning why or if the reasoning was said, but I believe that was a decision that was made, or when one of the comments said something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I just think they kind of fumble the early chapters a little bit. So I'm glad that we have these videos for us to know like how good the game actually is, or how good the story actually is.
That's true.
First, let's go over a few terms which are important to the basic understanding of the world of Arknights. Originium is one of the most important words to keep in mind. This crystal is very important to the people of Terra, as it's a power source for technology and powers. However, it's a double-edged sword, as people can get infected with oripathy, a deadly disease. We'll talk about this later. Originium arts. Think of Originium arts as the magic or powers of the Arknights world, allowing users to cast and manipulate different powers. Some races and individuals may have unique Originium arts unique to them. The word infected is a term or labeling someone with oripathy. People who are infected with oripathy are treated poorly, often as second-class citizens or worse. Various nations and races treat the infected differently, however. Oripathy is a deadly illness on Terra that comes from active Originium via inhaling it, getting it into your blood, wounds and cuts. Oripathy slowly crystallizes the individual over time until, well, they can no longer breathe or move. Eventually, the individual will die. crumble away,
Internal
and
rocks
even
don't
combust.
sound pleasant.
Not at all, no. I had made this comparison already when it came to Originium, with like the whole, I forget the exact term for it, but the other dimension or whatever, the parallel universe, to Elden Ring and the Elden Tree. But funnily enough, in Elden Ring, there's also just a group of sorcerers who kind of allow their body to get crystallized in order to access magic from the stars. And it does look something quite similar to this. And inevitably, they're just going to become fully crystallized. But, you know, for the sake of using magic, it's all worth it.
Yeah.
Of
course, yes.
Spreading the Originium dust crystals around the area of the person's death. If other people are in the area or affected by these, they will most likely become infected, unless they are wearing suitable safety wear. Catastrophes are powerful natural disasters. From earthquakes, to storms, to blizzards, and even to meteor storms. Catastrophes are not only deadly disasters,
Bruce Willis
but
when you need him?
it also carries and spreads Originium around the world, making more and more dangerous zones to live in, and more Originium around the world. To avoid catastrophes, people have made a vast majority of mobile cities, which are able to move away.
I love the concept of the mobile cities. Those are
Mobile
just so
cities
cool.
are just cool in general.
Yeah.
And it makes a whole lot of sense if you're living on a planet with harsh conditions like this. Because with the way that we have things set up currently, if something happens, well, gonna have to build something new somewhere else, and that's gonna take a lot of time. A lot of time and work.
I mean, we've seen so many times just in our lifetimes of just earthquakes and tsunamis and different things just devastating cities. Like,
Yeah.
if only you could just pick them up and move them somewhere else.
Big brain, yes. Before we move on to the next subject here, though, I do recall a comment mentioning that the doctor actually told, what's his name, Therasis, about how to make the machine that they use to glass the planet, essentially, with catastrophes. Because, ultimately, by spreading catastrophes, it spreads Originium. So it advances the doctor's plan.
Yeah,
which is so fucked up. I'll give you the super weapon that you can use to destroy people so that my plan will work. Wow. Goddamn, dude.
This is just like giant storm making machine. Sign me up.
Are people with skills to calculate and analyze when a catastrophe is coming, and give that information to cities so they're able to move away in time. Nomadic cities, or mobile cities, are cities or settlements that are built over giant vehicles, which allows them to move their position on land. They are built to move away from catastrophes.
How much energy would it take to move a giant city like that? Like, I'm sure they're powered by Originium or something, but I'm just thinking, like, in like the real world, how difficult would it be to move an entire city?
The amount of energy required in order to do that would probably be insane. Because comparatively to the cities that we have, I would imagine these cities aren't as big. It's hard to say, though.
Just looking at this picture here, I'm like...
Yeah, I suppose it probably depends on what city you're comparing it to. But to move that much land, I mean, I'm sure somebody's done calculations for this. Somebody much smarter than we are and is an actual scientist.
And allows for easier access with trade with other nations and cities. The world of Arknights is set on Terra, a planet with similar environments from dry and arid deserts to lush rainforests, wondrous plains, and to harsh, frozen tundra. In so many ways, this planet is like our Earth, yet so different. Terra has a supercontinent, and still some parts of Terra haven't even been completely explored. Terra is also constantly changing under civilizations, natural disasters, and catastrophes. Let's start with the nations, beginning with Bolivar. It is one of the western nations on Terra, located in the northern part. Despite its thriving economy and culture, Bolivar is currently in political instability. due to a stalemate between three major factions: the
Which
Sinkers dynasty,
country in
the
Arknights
coalition.
isn't in political instability? Because from what I've seen, they're all dealing with something.
That is a good question, indeed. I suppose it's a different flavor, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah.
Some
I mean,
are
definitely.
more low-key than others.
Government, and the true Bolivarians. It is also famous for the mobile city 𝙉𝙀𝙒𝙀, known for its neutrality, and the annual event known as the 𝙉𝙀𝙒 Warrior Championship. Colombia. Colombia
Okay.
is the youngest nation in Terra, and a melting pot of different cultures and races. Originally
This is the one that
Victorian,
broke off of the other one, right?
Yes,
confused?
I believe Gal had come over to help Colombia liberate themselves from Victoria, something like that.
But I'm like, am I confusing it with the other one that left, the music arts one? But I think
No,
this one's separate.
that
Cool.
one, I forget its exact name, but unless we mention mafios fighting each other in the streets, then it's probably not that.
it declared independence in 1019 and became a very powerful nation in terms of politics and technological advancements. Siesta is a small independent city-state near the inland sea of Claricide. As one of Colombia's 3 city-states, the city is famous for its touristic patronage, beaches, and the annual Obsidian Festival, Terra's
that a
most
penguin?
famous music festival.
There's a penguin.
Is a nation underground. Not much is known about this location, however, it's home to the Duran. To
One
the
of
south
my,
of Bolivar.
my 2 healers is a Durin. I love him. He's adorable.
Are they like supposed to be dwarves or gnomes or whatever? Halflings? I mean, they're like an underground nation. I would imagine it's probably drawing a little bit from that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have anybody from there yet.
I was gonna say, I don't like see any like animal characteristics really with the Durans. They just have the little pointy ears.
We arrive at Sargon. This nation is a mixture of lush forests and jungles to hot, dry deserts. Sargon is led by 2 different leaders. One is the Lord Emir, and the Pasha or the Padishah, who is more acknowledged as the ruler. Important to note, the Pasha have some more power over the Lord Emir. Sargon does have a king in the central land. However, not much is known. Sargon also borders the Foan Hotlands to the south. Minos is one of the smaller nations, with a culture revolving on hero cult, mainly the 12 heroes of Himnui. Minos was at one point colonized by Sargon between the years 917 and 1042. While they broke free, they've often been harassed and raided by Sargon forces from time to time.
That's kind of funny, considering we have the whole Greek aesthetic, and then I'm assuming
Yeah.
Sargon is more like Middle Eastern Persian sort of thing, and the whole history and warring between them. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, paralleling to real life history.
Is a landlocked, secluded nation which is surrounded by a massive mountain range and protected by the goddess Fermat Kajagranda. I hope I'm saying that right. Its neighboring nations are Colombia, Victoria, Kazimish. Compared to its bordering nations, Kajarag is still a developing country. Let's venture far north as we go to Sami, the
Is that the
furthest
one that
northern
Silver Ash
country.
is from?
Yes.
Or no, is it from Sammy? It was
No.
a snowy one.
No. It was the previous one.
Yeah.
Because I recall that the goddess who created that essentially was working as a part-time housemaid there. And there was a whole like discussion between
yeah. Right.
advancement versus tradition, and Silver Ash was also a part of that. So
On Terra, and probably one of the most dangerous, as there are freezing temperatures, blizzards, and something eldritch, hideous, lurking in those winds that come from beyond, the Collapsals. Sami is home to the Effian race,
Collapsals.
and lesser known ones that are collectively known as the Sami Fjord, that have a tribal-like culture. These tribes and clans often clash with the eldritch dangers. For these reasons, the Sami Fjord are often strict with outsiders to their land.
poor Sammy, man, this kind of sucks.
Yeah.
For any sort of like, I guess, grim, dark setting that you're in, I always feel bad for the people who live on the borders of like the great evil, you know? They have to deal with this shit more than everybody
They're
else.
just stuck dealing with it, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder, so because they're mobile cities, right? Could they not just not be there? Or is there a reason they're there?
I wonder if not everybody has mobile cities.
Maybe, yeah.
Because like looking at
I
the
do
place
remember,
where
yeah, some of the people in the mountains weren't on mobile cities because they could just high enough up that it didn't matter. So maybe that's like that.
yeah, that plus they may have some other reason to be there, or well, going somewhere else just wouldn't be as safe, even if, you know, you're bordering the demons because of well, other neighboring countries potentially threatening you. And then when you're living in these harsh conditions, nobody else really wants it, so it's like you're safe from war from them, but you gotta deal with the collapsers, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I could see that.
One of the most powerful nations, known for its romanticism and use of steam-powered machinery. Despite being ruled by a monarch, either from the Draco or the Aslan race, Victoria has been passing through a succession crisis for the last 2 decades, as both races fight each other for the power. The Dukes of Victoria, on the other hand, have been looking for a chance to seize the throne. Victoria is currently one of the nations involved with the main story. The majority of 𝙀𝙀𝙒𝙀 territory is dubbed the Land of the Knights, is covered by grassland and home to the knightly Kuranta for generations. Despite its chivalrous and heroic origins, however, 𝙀𝙀𝙒𝙀 has become a nation plagued with greed and corruption, using the title of knights and their tournaments to make money and power. Iberia is a coastal nation by the Southern Sea, formerly a powerful maritime empire. They once had the most powerful navy fleets. However, this strong nation was brought down by a devastating and mysterious disaster known as the Profound Silence, potentially created by worshippers and threats from the deepest depths of the sea. Iberia since then has struggled to recover and remain distant from other nations. Following the Profound Silence, Iberia has established a religious order known as the Inquisition, which was previously known as the Church of Iberia. The church was reorganized by Saint Carmen to combat the threats from the sea.
I mean, when you call your organization the Inquisition, you're obviously only doing good things with that organization. Nothing bad ever comes from Inquisitions.
Surely.
So yeah, that was one of my main questions during the very first video that we watched. We did get to Iberia, unfortunately.
No.
But like, if there are things lurking in the ocean, then how are the people living next to the ocean dealing with all that shit? And the answer is not well.
I know that that's a lot of what the Abyssal Hunters do too, is fight the seaborne stuff.
You mean the Abyssal Hunters hunt in the abyss? Impossible.
I haven't, I did not unfortunately get very far in the event when we had the rerun of that just recently, because my units are not very good, because I just started.
You just started the game, yeah. That does seem some, like, really cool bit of lore. Like, what would you do to become an Abyssal Hunter, and how exactly do you go about doing that job, considering you're probably in the depths of the ocean? Do you just breathe underwater? Is that a requirement to be one? I don't know.
I know the people from Iberia are mostly all the fish people, the Eiger. I don't know if they can breathe underwater or not, but yeah,
if
the
they're fish
Abyssal
people,
Hunters
one
and
would
the
hope.
Seaborn are obviously the bits of the story that have me most intrigued, which anyone who knows me is shocked, I'm sure. But I don't know too much on them at the moment.
I'll learn more about them someday.
Laterano is a small nation and sacred homeland to the angelic trigger-happy race Sancta. Laterano is a nation where the Sancta found a safe homeland.
Oh, the Gun Angels, yeah, that's right. I have a few of them currently. But yeah, we don't know anything about them yet, at all.
Away from their sibling race, the Sarkaz. Despite their long-lasting feud and dark past, the Laterano of today is very energetic, open-minded, and known for its dessert culture with the Pope as their leader.
I have one Sanctus, just the starting 3-star dude that I get a lot.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He is one. I also have the 4-star girl who's also a sniper too, but never seen the other like 5-star units or 6-star units from them.
Laterano is
I have a lot of
famous for its
birds for some
religious
reason.
beliefs, Laterism, and the Laterano Church that acts as the government, dealing with numerous state affairs. Aside from the Sancta, it's also home to the Liberi population, due to their diplomatic relationship with Iberia in the past. Lefania's neighbouring countries are Victoria, Casimir, Eurus, Siracusa and Laterano. This country is famous for classical music, use of Originium arts, arts-based technology, and musical arts. Lefania was once ruled by the greatest caster in history, the Witch King, who was later overthrown by the twin empresses. It is home to the Caprine race, which makes up majority of the population. A nation south of Yan and Kazdel, known for its mining operations and industry, is Rimbiliton. Rimbiliton has one of the three biggest Originium veins running underneath it. Due to its constant mining operations, the residents of Rimbiliton are very vulnerable to oropathy. And while they aren't highly discriminatory to the infected, Rimbiliton is known to see its people nothing more than labourers and workforce. Siracusa, the land of the Mafia, and the fangs and howls of the predominant race, the Lupo and some Volpo. Siracusa has influence from other nations, such as the religious beliefs and legal systems from Laterano, technology from Colombia, Lefanian love for music, and the main cultural identity is the Mafia tradition that comes from the ancient Siracusa and the 12 families that govern the nation. The families themselves are under supervision from Signora Cecilia, which makes her the real head of state. The ancient land of the Sarkaz, Kazdel. This worn-torn nation is home to the native Terran race, the Sarkaz, which was built thousands of years ago by the first Sarkaz Lord of Weebs. The sad state of Kazdel is due to the nation being perpetual conflict, not only between the Sarkaz and the other nations, but also the infighting among themselves. Kazdel has been destroyed and rebuilt numerous of times in the past. The true Kazdel today is where the Sarkaz can finally have a place called home.
I can't get alive long enough to grow any bigger.
It is tough to do that when your entire nation isn't really united with each other. Everybody is just a mercenary working to the highest bidder. So
they just want to fight people.
Got to get that good fighting energy in order to resurrect Orochi.
Before there were any concept of countries, the Sarkaz back then, known as the Tizak, considered Kazdel their
tournament.
They 100% would. Also, I forgot to read this. They've tried to rebuild Kazdel, their home, for centuries, though they never succeeded. Everyone has a different idea as to what the term homeland means. But as it stands right now, Kazdel is perhaps as close as you can get to the term's original meaning. The Tikaz deserve a home. Kalshi. I also probably didn't pronounce that correctly still. Thank you for clarifying how to pronounce that. Apparently, it is the Russian way to say calcite. I do recall looking it up once.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ursus, the largest nation on Terra, and home to the namesake race, the Ursus, is ruled by an emperor. Ursus is often known to be hostile, xenophobic to other nations, and known to be
the big burly dude with the funny little bear ears humor me greatly.
To the infected. Well, that's a story for another day. Ursus was once ruled by the Hippogriff Libri, but when they failed to protect the nation, the other dominant race, the Ursus, rose up, rebelled, and took over, and renaming the nation to Ursus. Ursus is one of the nations that are dealing with the collapsal threat in the far north. Higashi is near the northeast of Yan. Higashi was in a long civil war between the northern and southern courts. However, when Ursus tried to invade, the two sides joined forces and pushed back the invading force back into Ursus.
Yo, thanks, Ursus. Now we have peace.
Get out of here.
Right?
Where it eventually led to volatile peace between and within Higashi's two sides. While north of Higashi is still isolated from outside nations, the south is far more welcoming. What we do know—
Okay, so basically North Korea, South Korea is what we're getting at, right? This 100% has to be.
Know about
It seems
Higashi
like
is
it.
that it's famous for its founding mythology and love for video games and manga.
Yeah!
One of the eastern nation, Yan, is ruled by an emperor, which is said to be a true lung. Yan's famous history is that of emperors wanting to overthrow and kill gods. The gods being Fermats. Long ago, an emperor started a war against these gods, believing that their refusal to help the people of Yan, even when misfortune struck, means that they are unworthy to call themselves gods, and started a great hunt after allying himself with another Fermat known as Sui. They were eventually victorious and removed these threats, and even split Sui into living fragments of itself. Yan is another nation, along with Sami and Ursus, that has conflicts with the Eldritch threat. Aegir is the only known nation.
That's interesting, even though they're like even further to the south than Ursus, but I guess they're more to the eastern side of things, so the border probably extends down to them too.
Yeah, I guess so.
That is under the ocean. Not much is known about it. But
The
it
fish.
is inhabited by the Aegir race. Supposedly, their technology is extremely advanced, but they are facing a threat known as the Seaborn and potentially the Church of the Deep, a threatening cult that somewhat worships the Seaborn. There is
Bruh.
one more nation to make you aware of. That is the dead nation of Ghul. Potentially a technologically advanced nation of its time, Ghul are famous for their artilleries. Ghul were also one of the nations that allied themselves with Kha'Zit to invade and destroy Khaz'del 200 years ago. Unlike the other nations, Ghul later asked help from Khaz'del to some extent, and even hiring some Khaz'delian royal court casters to help them against Lefanian arts. Ghul was later destroyed in the Battle of the Four Emperors by its former allies and was completely wiped out. There are still some small lingering citizens of Ghul around Terra, but ultimately the nation is completely gone. There are
Well, when you send envoys to the Witch King saying, hey, become my subordinates, become my vassal, it's really not a great look. I think, honestly, with how powerful the Witch King was presented, he probably could have just done it himself.
Yeah.
he probably didn't need the help of the other two nations, but hey, the more the merrier, I guess.
three unknown but dangerous locations on Terra. These are the Fernan Hotlands, the Ifni Icefields, and even further north beyond the Ifni Icefields lies an uncharted location, a potentially massive crater within the world of Terra.
Now, I do know a little bit about what this area might be because of Enfield. Now, I'm not going to say it here because Serby wants to say more blind to it, but
Yeah.
yeah, I have an idea what's going on here. Interesting. We even have like operator spotlights too. That's pretty cool.
Ooh, yeah.
But yes, on to part 2.
Welcome back to Terrastorian, part 2. I guess this will be where we shall be looking at the known races and threats on Terra in the Arknights universe. If you haven't seen part 1, then do check out our first video.
Just watched
Anyway,
it.
let's begin with the races, then threats. There are many beautiful, interesting, and marvelous races on Terra. However, it is important to
That
make
is
it
true.
clear that all races have differences. Some races are younger than others, some enjoy conflicts and wars, others want peace, or to make an impact on the world. But interestingly, a vast majority of races aren't even native to Terra. These races can be categorized as Ancients and Elders races, while other races with 𝙉𝙀𝙒 heritage are the native races. To make this easier,
TCAS, yeah.
Mhm.
Sancta, the Sancta are the angels, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't remember what the Anasa are.
Maybe it was just in the previous video, but yeah, there was a ton of names being dropped, so it was hard to memorize everything.
we shall break down the races in selections. Ancients, Elders, 𝙉𝙀𝙒, and others. An interesting question that normally comes up within Arknights lore is, can an individual have a child with someone from a different race? If so, what race would that child be?
Sure, yes,
If
that
two
must come
people
up
from different
frequently.
races do have a child, they will either be one or the other race. A 50-50, let's say, of what their child would be.
So,
Interesting. Okay.
Does that mean the next child is guaranteed?
If you lose the 50.
An example would be if a feline or a Libri had a child, it would be either a feline or a Libri. It can't be a mixture of the two. However, they will take traits of their parents, either hair color, eye color, for example. Ancient races are the largest category.
Okay. This is probably a smart way to do it, or else things would get incredibly complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're writing a story, you don't need a whole, like, laundry list of different races that are subspecies of other races, you know? Oh, God.
I mean, there's precedent for that in genetics, like to have a trait that will just, if present, overwrite things. The 50-50, maybe a little less so, but like, I guess it would be dependent on... No, yeah, I don't know. That's actually interesting. I'd have to think about that one.
They are also one of the two categories of races that aren't native to Terra. Our first race we shall speak about is the 𝙉𝙀𝙒𝙀, based on aquatic creatures. This race comes from the nation of 𝙉𝙀𝙒.
The one in the middle
Others can
is the one I want so bad. I want... Like, he's not on any of the banners, so he would need a rerun banner of some kind. But I really, really like him.
Knowing you, 𝙉𝙀, and the type of characters that you draw, this is basically him, so yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
be found on the mainland, such as Iberia or Higashi. The 𝙉𝙀𝙒, though, are somewhat strangers to the races of the land. 𝙉𝙀𝙒 also have been in a long conflict with the Seaborn, a background threat that threatens to simulate the rest of the world, though it seems that the 𝙉𝙀𝙒 are one of the reasons for the Seaborn to be pushed that way. A tale for another time. One outstanding thing about the 𝙉𝙀 is that they are unbelievably arrogant and stuck up. Since the 𝙉𝙀 have more advanced technology compared to any of the races on the land, they tend to look down on them and see themselves as superior.
So, this is basically Atlantis, right? More advanced
I guess so,
technology
yeah.
than everybody, but city got sunk
Like,
down into the ocean.
Mhm.
Probably one of the most popular and populated race is the felines. This race is based on cats and can be mainly found in Victoria. However, they can still be found all over Terra. There are overall 39 operators in Arknights that are playable who are felines. Aslans are thought to be a separate race to felines. However,
Lions? Yeah.
this is not true. Aslans are felines that have self-appointed themselves to a more nobility race. However, they still do rule
Like,
Sargon.
actually, we're our own thing. Like, no, you're not. Yes, we are.
You're just a slightly bigger cat. That's about it. It's really the only difference.
Power and eventually moving to Victoria and now fighting over the throne there against the Dracos. The Vori are based on wyverns or lesser dragons. This race can be found around in Sargon, where they potentially originated from and have ventured to Victoria. The Vori are known to have higher physical strength and endurance than most other races. 𝙉𝙀𝙒𝙀, the race with deer-like traits. This race can mainly be found in Lefania, but also in the far north in Sami. You can find other 𝙉𝙀𝙀 in Victoria and Yan. There is also a potential subrace of 𝙉𝙀𝙀 that are based
You're all
with
over
traits.
the place.
Wow, I mean, they go wherever the pastures are greener, right? And
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
look at the one dude over in Sammy. He's not having a great time.
Poor
This dude
guy.
has seen some shit, man. Oh.
Fighting for his life out there.
And compare this guy to the dude who he showed in Victoria, right?
Yeah.
Completely different.
Yeah.
Traits from giraffes. With equine traits and features, Kuranta are based on horses and even zebras. Kurantas are known to be born with fast running and stamina. A vast majority of Kurantas are born
One would
in
hope.
Casimir,
The
the land of the
Muslims.
knights. And Kurantas, currently the only known race to have two elder race siblings, which we will get on to later. Lupo, the wolves of Terra. This race is mainly found within Syracuse, but also can be found in other places such as 𝙉𝙀 and Victoria. Horn's family came from 𝙉𝙀 and ended up in Victoria. 𝙉𝙀𝙒, the second highest most operators in Arknights of 35
I have a lot of bird people. I don't know why I keep collecting birds.
The fact that there are more birds than there are dogs is kind of intriguing to me, considering you'd think the most popular would be the cats and the dog people. That's usually how it is.
True. I think there's just a bunch of different dogs, because the Paro are also dogs, and we haven't got to them yet. And then there's another one for like foxes.
Oh, okay, I see.
𝙉𝙀𝙒 are based on birds. Most 𝙉𝙀𝙒 can be found in Colombia, Iberia, and a few in Laterano. 𝙁𝙀𝙁, having similar traits to Lupo, sometimes confused with Lupo, this race is actually based on foxes. 𝙁𝙁𝙁 can be found in Syracuse, Colombia, and Sami. Archosauria, having traits from crocodilians, they also have similar pointy ears to others like 𝙉𝙀𝙒 and 𝙁𝙁𝙁. From what we do know, majority of the males are anthropomorphic, while females aren't. This could be a case of sexual dimorphism. This race comes from...
You know, I don't have any issues with this. As a lizardman player in Total War Warhammer 3, I enjoy these people a lot. Cool.
From 𝙉𝙀.
I do like the lizard heads.
A race based on frogs. This race came from 𝙉𝙀.
Frogs.
Across some parts of Terra, including Iberia, where they are treated roughly and used as experiments. We only know of one Anura, and that is Blue Poison, who is based on the Blue Poison dart frog. A race we don't know much about is the Manticore, and despite being based on a mythical creature, this race can be found in small parts of 𝙉𝙀 and are rare. Or,
I mean, is Manticore the only Manticore in the entire game? I would assume so for only showing her. I do have her. I don't really used her that much, but...
Do you? I don't have her.
Yeah. I don't recall if I pulled her or if I selected her. She has a pretty interesting ability, but she is a 5-star character, unfortunately. So I'm not really able to build her very effectively yet.
They just want to keep away from other races. 𝙉𝙀𝙒, one of the common races found in Lefania. The 𝙉𝙀𝙒 have traits from goats and sheep. 𝙁𝙄𝑡𝑢𝑠, the rabbit and the hare race, mainly found and born in Rambilliton. 𝙬𝙀𝙁 is based on rhinos, with the classic rhino.
I think it's funny that they put the bunnies in the mining area.
Yeah, I was wondering why the bunnies were in the mining area, but then I figured, you know what, the bunnies digging burrows, that kind of makes sense.
I guess that's true. You know what, I didn't think about that. You're right.
Like horn on their forehead. We know of one 𝙬𝙀𝙁, and that is Bubbles.
Only one.
If felines are the cat people of Terra, then the Paro are the dog people of Terra. This race can mainly be found in Bolivar.
I like the ones with the floppy ears.
Of course you do. Although, I guess it should be noted, the video was a year ago, so some of this information may be a little outdated. There may be new operators released for these other races that are sort of lacking.
True, yeah.
Petram are similar to Anura. There is currently one known character in the game, but Petram are based on tortoises and turtles. Not much is known about this race, other than there are small Petram settlements around Terra that house excellent or great craftsmen.
Apparently, I didn't know this until recently. When you Elite 2 a unit, they usually show in the artwork the animal that their race is from.
Ah, so that's what it was. I see. I was wondering why like so many people had like an animal included in their Elite 2 art.
We do know more about the next race, which is the Pythia, based on serpents and having snake-like tails and pointy ears to other races. Pythia, like snakes of the real world, have acute and delicate senses. Pythia are a rare or at least uncommon race. Despite this, they can be found all over Terra. I don't know that unit,
but I like them. What the heck?
I was going to say, this seems like such a survey unit, but I didn't want to interrupt him.
I don't see him, but I like him.
Oh my god. I was learning about the races here is just Serbia putting on more names on their wish list now. Well, like, I gotta do more research after this.
Forte race have traits from bovines and camelids. The Forte are the main inhabitants
thick
of
horns.
Minos. Pilosa, another race that only has one known character. This race is based on sloths, and that's all we know about them.
Aw.
Anote are a race based on otters, weasels, and raccoons.
Okay, I 100% would not have guessed that for the dude in the middle. Or any of these people, actually. How are you supposed to know unless I guess you
Otters.
read their profile, but...
I guess so, yeah.
I
I
mean,
think I have the girl on the right.
looking at the guy in the middle, I would have to guess that's Raccoon.
Raccoon.
If so, that is one badass raccoon. If you see this raccoon digging through your trash at night, do not mess with them. They will kill you. Holy shit.
Rubber are based on hyenas. Nothing
Yep.
much is known other than
The dude is just straight up a hyena.
I was gonna say, there's a very
Was not a hard guess.
contrast here.
I'm assuming this is similar to the crocodile people, or the dudes are just
From
straight
what
up
I
hyenas.
understand, most of the races, like, they can be more or less animal-like, but I do feel like the art tends to lead in favor of the guys being more animal-like for all of them.
It's certainly catering towards a certain demographic.
I'd be curious to know in the comments, like, if people don't know, are there any female units that are more animal? Like Spot or like the lizards we saw earlier?
I don't have any in the game currently. If there is one.
I don't either, but I also just don't have very many of the like really animalistic ones in general.
Yeah.
I've got like the 2 lizards you start with, and I've got this hyena dude.
Yeah, Spot you just get.
That's
He's like a
kind
3-star
of
one,
it,
so
yeah.
from Sargon. Savara are a race based on lizards and some amphibians like salamanders. The land of Ursus, like we mentioned, was named after this bear-like race
bear.
called the Ursus. The Zalak are based on rodents including rats, mice, and squirrels. Zalaks can also be found all over
What's
Terra.
damn it. No. What's the name of the turtles leader? Or like mentor teacher dude?
it's not Shredder, is it?
No, that's the bad guy, isn't it? Damn it.
Yeah, I mean I've
I
never
can't
seen
make the
Teenage Mutant Ninja
I
Turtles.
can't remember the name. Splinter. No, it's Splinter.
Splinter.
The
Yeah,
dude
yeah,
in the
that sounds
back looking
familiar.
like
It
Master
is.
Splinter.
It does kind of look like him, yeah. And I guess the girl in the middle, honestly, when I saw her, she kind of reminded me of Pacos Bales, the Hololive VTuber. It's just the red hair.
Oh, yeah.
Also Mouse.
And known to have acute senses. Hailing from beyond Terra, the Elder Races, once mighty rulers who overshadowed their ancient brethren in power, held dominion over the nations. However, their
So
numbers
what's the art
have
from Terra? Where did they come from then?
I don't know. I guess we'll learn about it. Maybe.
dwindled, leaving only a handful of nations under their rule. Their forms bear resemblance to mythical creatures of our own world.
I mean, I guess
Like
the gods.
The dragons.
So more so like potentially parallel dimension, their own sort of little thing that nobody else can get to. Hard to say how spiritual and supernatural Arknights gets, or if we ever
the
delve into
previous
stuff like
races
that.
were also ones that weren't from Terra, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean these are all people who aren't from Terra.
Yeah, we haven't gotten to the Tikas yet, which are
Yep.
the native ones.
I do recall comments mentioning that, but man, storing all that information is tough. I think it had something to do with Originium. The spread of Originium allowed them to come into existence, right?
Interesting. Okay.
Something like that.
Draco, with traits based on European dragons in mythology, they are famous for their racial gift over fire manipulation. But they also have increased vitality and strength. Dracos became rulers of Victoria and Tara, a piece of land that became a part of Victoria. Eventually, getting in conflict with the self-appointed Aslans over the throne, Over the years, the Dracos have become rarer and potentially extinct. We only know of 3 Dracos in Arknights: Reed, her sister Eblana, and Tallulah. Hippogriffly, this
I've
elder
heard
race
the
of
name
thievery
Tallulah.
I've heard the name. Well, you see her at the very beginning of the game, actually.
Oh,
Yeah, because she's the one who's leading the, what is it? The radical infected people who are burning down Chernobog.
Yeah. I remember now.
is based on hippogriffs in mythology, and
The
once
reunion.
ruled over the nation that is now called Ursus. However, like we mentioned previously, this race failed to protect their land, and the Ursus
So
rebelled.
these are fancy
While
bird
they
people?
already are dethroned, they have kept their nobility status and known to have longer lifespans.
I forget what hippogriffs are exactly. I think they're like mythological bird-like creatures. Sort of like a
They're like
griffin.
4-legged birds.
Kitsune. This elder race, based on the nine-tailed fox, are found in Higashi. They are said to be religious leaders and have some sort of connection to the founding of the nation. Kukulkan, based on the Mayan plumed serpent, and an elder race. However, after the loss of their abilities, now they practice an odd ritual,
Look at that smile.
which reduce their lifespan greatly, but gain the collective memory of their ancestors. One thing about this race is that we don't know if they are categorized as an Elder Pythia or an Elder Libri. Kylan,
These elders, I think, right? Like these
Yeah.
are elders, the others
Yeah.
were ancients. These elders
so.
being based off of like mythological creatures is a really cool idea. And just being like I guess a separate tier from the others. So that we can have more variety in the races and designs. Yeah, I like this a lot.
the Qilin, a mythical beast from China, is an elder race found in Yan. Not much is known about them. Leishi is the only known member of this race so far. While Dracos are the dragons of the west, the Lungs are the dragons from the east. Lungs are found in Yan, and one of the main ruling races of Yan. The Emperor is a Lung, and the ruling family of Lungs are often known as the True Lung. 𝙉𝙀𝙒𝙀 is, in fact, the older twin brother of the Emperor of Yan.
Oh,
𝙉𝙀𝙒𝙀𝙀
didn't
Kuranta,
know that.
one of the 2 Kuranta elder races. This elder race of Kuranta once struck fear into the people's hearts of Terra, and led a conquest across Terra, from around the north of Terra
Literally
to
Khan.
Sargon and then back to the north again, where they are hardly seen
Yup.
again. However, there are small clans around in the north, potentially, and in Sargon.
Okay, she's kind of hot though.
𝙉𝙀𝙒𝙀 are based on folklore called the Nightmare or the Mare, which is seen in Dutch, German,
His
Norse.
face!
He's supposed to be scary, Servi. Fear him.
But look at him.
Oh no.
and English folklores and stories. The 𝙉𝙀𝙒𝙀 are known to have a racial gift to use illusion arts. Despite this, they seem to have a sense and culture over honour and glory. Pegasus Kuranta is one of the races that stood up against their sibling race of the 𝙉𝙀𝙒𝙀 and protected their homeland Casimir. Pegasus Kuranta are based on the mythological creature the Pegasus. Pegasus Kuranta still hold strong respect and force within their land, but slowly their authority has dwindled over time after holding back the 𝙉𝙀𝙒𝙀. This elder race is famous for its control over light and illumination art. Pegasus Kuranta also seem to share a same trait of light-coloured hair.
Oh, hey, yeah, I just pulled this guy over on the right here. Apparently, during the first video that we talked about, I do recall a comment saying, when I was talking about, oh, this is like the perfect setup for a character that really questions his identity and chivalry and whether that truly exists. And then he's like, yeah, the guy that you paused on, that's his entire story. So I'm looking forward to learning more about him.
Hair, such as white, blonde, and gold.
I was gonna say, how can you
potential
tell
elder race.
that they're Pegasus as opposed to the rest of the horse people? Because they don't like have wings, it doesn't look like.
I guess you just gotta know.
Like it's just blonde.
Yeah, just blonde. I guess other horse people are just aren't really blonde. Maybe a few of them
I
are,
don't
but
know.
maybe a different blonde? I don't know.
We may have are an elder race of Rabar, the Tula family, another elder race of Corunta, the Unicorn Corunta, an elder race of Pero, the Cerberus Pero. The 𝙉𝙀𝙒𝙒 are one of the native races of Terra. Eventually, they took the name the 𝙉𝙀𝙒 after losing their home in a war against the foreign races. However, there are many different 𝙉𝙀𝙒 subraces as well as sibling races, which we shall get into now. The normal 𝙉𝙀𝙒 are known as 𝙉𝙀𝙒. Unlike their ancient 𝙉𝙀𝙒 subraces, normal 𝙉𝙀𝙒 are often seen as mixed blood 𝙉𝙀𝙒 or not pure-blooded as they were back in ancient Terra.
You can't
Banshee
just have like
𝙉𝙀𝙒
sarcasm without a subrace. Okay, I was curious about that.
Yeah, it seems it can be used as an all-encompassing term, but we do have slight differentiations here.
are unique, as they are a majority an all-female matriarchy subrace of 𝙉𝙀𝙒. However, there are male Banshee 𝙉𝙀𝙒, but they are rare.
One of the
We already
characters
know
that I
of
do
one
want, he's a male banshee. And he looks
Yeah.
awesome.
I guess it's one of those things where like the birth rate of male banshees is just incredibly low due to some genetics.
male Banshee, and that is Logos, who happens to be the heir
Yes.
to the Banshee 𝙉𝙀𝙒's throne. Banshee 𝙉𝙀𝙒 have a manipulation of vocal and sound arts, and a connection with death, often seen as the guardians of the dead. Cyclops 𝙉𝙀𝙒 live in the northern nation on Terra, Sami. Here they live away from their violent relatives. Cyclopses moved to Sami after the Cyclops Lord of Fiends was murdered by other 𝙉𝙀𝙒s. Cyclopses have the ability to see into
Oh, I mean, the Lord, are they talking about the dude who saw Teresa's death and then ended up trying to
The
prevent
guy
it, but
who
then getting
ran
murked?
the market,
Yeah. Maybe?
maybe?
the future, or have visions to see what may come. It is said that these visions can be pretty accurate. Cyclopses are one of the two 𝙉𝙀𝙒 subraces that deal with the dangers of the collapsals. Damasty isn't an entire subrace, but an ancient 𝙉𝙀𝙒 with the ability to shapeshift and multiply itself into more individuals.
I remember somebody mentioning this, that they're considered a race, but technically there's only one. So it's
I
because
see.
of their powers and how it works.
Diablo 𝙉𝙀𝙒
That's
are
kinda
said
cool.
to be one of the most powerful 𝙉𝙀𝙒 subraces, with the ability of strong fire arts. However, this subrace is said to be extinct. With few pieces of Diablo shards left, one shard was fused with Ifrit, a Suvra, now merged with such a shard, giving her traits and abilities of the fiery ancient subrace. We recently
Okay. Diablo 𝙉𝙀𝙒 are said to be extinct, but why in the world do we have a little chibi animation for an enemy unit?
I was
what does this
wondering that
mean?
myself.
found out about 𝙉𝙀 𝙉𝙀𝙒, and sometimes they're known as Heart Whipper or Mind 𝙉𝙀𝙒. 𝙉𝙀 𝙉𝙀𝙒 have a
Keep that
unique
cool, okay.
art, which is to do with heart, mind, and emotions. Similar to their vampire relatives, they have to control their hunger, but for emotions instead of blood. Unlike
So are they supposed to be like succubuses or something like that?
Maybe.
Or some other like mythical creature that we don't know of? Because Arknights can get very specific with its references.
Yeah.
Like what was that other one? It was like specifically like a German folklore thing of
Yeah,
spirits
I
that
don't know how to say it.
yeah, I'm not gonna even try.
The ones that eat people.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll say it in a second.
they do have more control or found other ways to get over this. A vast majority of 𝙉𝙁 don't even live in Kastel. This is because 𝙉𝙁 are very sensitive to emotions, especially negative ones. The leader of the 𝙉𝙁 is known as the Archliar. Currently, we don't know.
Castle probably isn't a great place for them.
Asdell seems like a cesspool for a lot of things. Positive emotions isn't one of them.
if they have an Archliar at this moment. We currently know of two 𝙉𝙁, Nymph and her sister working as Rhode Island's HR director, who is clouded in mystery. gargoyles, said to be one of the most ancient of all 𝙉𝙀 subraces. This subrace of 𝙉𝙀 has control over soil, stone and earth, often called the children of the soil and the stone. They have earth arts manipulation and even said to have conversations or talks with the earth and the soil. Unlike the rest of the 𝙉𝙀 subraces, the Goliath 𝙉𝙀 aren't part of the royal 𝙉𝙀 court, and are known if they have a leader or not. But majority of the 𝙉𝙀's enemies we do see are apparently Goliaths. Liches are the bookworms of the 𝙉𝙀, and very powerful bookworms at that, with the ability to manipulate space and dimensions to a vast degree. Ermengarde, the cute lich that everyone loves, once said that she could transport the entirety of Lefania if she wanted to. Is that a bluff or not? We don't know, but if true, an amazing feat.
Well, I mean, would you want to tempt fate? I don't think so.
Do you take
Not only do they have space
Right?
control,
No, you let her.
but they are also completely immortal. Unlike their other fantasy counterparts, they store their souls
that
or
makes
life
sense if
in
they're
a
liches.
phylactery. Revenants are a spirit soul-like race of 𝙉𝙀. This subrace isn't technically born, but more created, as the 𝙉𝙀 will put their body and soul in the soul furnaces of Khasdel. They can inhabit objects. Nazira are based on ghouls. This subrace of 𝙉𝙀 are one of the physically strongest ones on Terra. One of the reasons for their strength comes from their deep cultural aspects of cannibalism and eating their enemies. In return, they gain increased strength and power, as well as memories and
when you
abilities
fight
of
them,
the
they just eat your units? That's so sad.
I would assume so. If they reach them, they just get like one shot or something like that. Yeah. Oh boy.
those that they have 8. The stronger Nazira often let the weaker ones take a bite out of their body, so they basically gain power-ups.
Damn.
Nazira King happens to be one of the oldest characters in-game, is around 7,000 years old, potentially older, as he was around with the first 𝙉𝙀. He is often known as the War Incarnate, due to the Nazira becoming far more powerful in wars, due to eating the bodies and powering themselves up. Like the vampire myths of our world, vampire 𝙉𝙀 are bloodsuckers.
There's 2 of
They
my
feed
units.
on blood as well as strong blood arts manipulation. Similar to the Nazira, they have an ability to empower others with blood blessings. Vampire 𝙉𝙀 have a thirst for blood, which is a hunger they have to control, making them very fearful, even to other 𝙉𝙀s. The Wendigos are a subrace of 𝙉𝙀s that are tall and have an exposed skull, thus they wear a mask. Fortunately, there are no longer any
They have an
pure blood
exposed
Wendigos.
skull?
Well, I mean, you know what Wendigos actually look like in
I mean,
mythology and folklore.
yeah, I've seen. I just am trying to think how that works for like something more humanoid.
Well, it's just their skull. It's attached to their
I guess so.
head, and their brain
Yeah.
is directly underneath it. So gotta protect that shit.
Left on Terra, with the last one being Patriot. However, there are still Wendigo 𝙉𝙀s in the north of Ursus, led by the Wendigo King fighting the threat of the Collapsals. Just like the Nazira, the Wendigo are one of the physically strongest and have cannibalism deep in their culture. We would have to see if there are more 𝙉𝙀 subraces in the future. Now, we move on to 𝙉𝙀's sibling races. First being the Anasa. This race separated from the 𝙉𝙀s and moved to Yan, distancing themselves from more wars and difficult relatives. While they kept some 𝙉𝙀's culture, overall their culture has changed. While we still don't know much about them, they do live in the wilds of Yan in tribes. Oni, a group of 𝙉𝙀s that broke
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, kind of parallel to each other, being demons, but the more eastern version of what demons are. Okay.
away from Khasdel. After the 𝙉𝙀's Lord of Fiends, Kolum, was killed, they moved to where Higashi is now and became the Oni, resembling some parts of the 𝙉𝙀s such as horns, but much more muscular. Sancta. Despite their angelic appearance, this race belongs to the 𝙉𝙀's family. However, unlike the Anasa or Oni, who diverged from the
You've heard
𝙉𝙀𝙒
the Sancta
heritage.
can actually like fall like a fallen angel and become a 𝙉𝙀𝙒 again?
Can a 𝙉𝙀𝙒 rise and become a Sancta?
I don't know.
Hmm.
I think they're born Sancta, but they can like fuck up and become a 𝙉𝙀𝙒. I'm not sure.
How badly would you have to fuck up?
From what I saw, like if they point their gun at another Sanctus, then they get in deep shit and they lose their like Sanctaness.
So what if at some point during the game you have a Sancta in your unit and you're fighting against Sancta? What happens then?
I don't know.
They were 𝙉𝙀𝙒 that accepted a forced evolution or change by an outside power known as the Law, gaining light wings and a halo, which gives them 6 like sense. This race has been in a grudging conflict with their cousins, the 𝙉𝙀𝙒s, who saw the change nothing more as a traitorous move. Fallen Sancta are also a thing, which is a Sancta that has broken the rules of the Law and starts to grow horns or regain horns. Now we move on to races that we aren't sure where they fit in, or if they fit in at all. Beast Lords. These entities are talking animals that have been around Terra.
What the fuck? we have no fucking clue how these guys are here, but they're here alright.
For countless eras. Some of them show peculiar abilities such as immortality or teleportation. Supposedly, most races in Terra have their own Beast Lord representative, but only a handful have ever been shown.
Fear the deer.
𝙁𝙀𝙒. This is a race that you could describe as living gods or entities. They have unimaginable powers and abilities, get big as nations, they have an immunity to oripathy, even have their own space-dimensional travel. However, it is hinted at these beings aren't from Terra, but also unsure when they arrived on the world. There are many 𝙁𝙁𝙒s around the world, and we only know of a few. 𝙬𝙗 is a 𝙁𝙁𝙒. 𝙁𝙀𝙗, the protector of 𝙁𝙗, the Lifebone, seen in episode 13, despite being...
Actually,
Jeez,
did you
that
just say
looks sick.
Sammy is a 𝙁𝙁𝙒? Like the entirety of Sammy? Huh. Is that why the people stay there? To protect Sammy?
Maybe like worship and like religious reasons. I don't know.
Probably.
dead, still has a conscience. It's noted that they can be killed, but they don't truly die. Another
Giant
𝙁𝙁𝙒 we know
whale.
is 𝙁𝙁, not to be confused with 𝙉𝙀𝙒 𝙁𝙁. This 𝙁𝙁 was a rival to 𝙬𝙗. Operators like Ling, Dusk and their siblings are all fragments of the 𝙁𝙁 known as Sui. Elf. Similar to other fantasy elves,
just straight
they
up?
are humanoid, pointed-eared race. Despite that they may have a long-lived lives, they are very weak to originium and oripathy. Unlike other races, they are very susceptible to oripathy.
Feels bad.
If an elf catches oripathy, they basically have a month to live. This makes elves very rare, but there are some found in 𝙬𝙗. It's indicated that they are descendants of
Sammy
a
seems
𝙁𝙁.
like an interesting place.
Well, yes, indeed. A lot of people who don't really have a place to go end up in Sammy, but also, you
Yeah.
know, a lot of threats surrounding them too. And it may also just be an entire god that you're living on, so.
Durin. Like the dwarves of mythology and
Dwarves,
other
yeah.
fantasy,
The dwarves,
this
yeah.
small subterranean race lives in the underground nation of Durin.
Like
Despite their
Chestnut,
size-
my little medic.
It's hard to recognize them as dwarves because they don't have massive beards.
These little ones are excellent miners, crafters, geologists, and very heavy drinkers. Durins are a
Yeah!
fairly peaceful race, as they live in an underground utopia compared to the other races above. However, some brave or adventurous or even bored Durin will adventure above ground.
Oh, of course, yeah. The 2-star caster that you get at the beginning of the game. Yeah, of course she's a Durin. And I believe that's Myrtle? I could be wrong, though. She looks familiar.
Last but not least, we are going to be talking about is you. Yes, you, the Doctor. The Doctor belongs to a race known as the First Civilization. another non-native race that arrived on Terra more than 13,000 years ago. You could say that they used Terra as an experimental ground, while also planning to protect civilization from a certain threat. Unfortunately, this civilization may be responsible for the majority of the greatest threats on Terra. This race faced a great threat from beyond, leaving you, the Doctor, the last known surviving person of its kind on Terra. It is unknown if there are more out there. Trevor Friston is one of the Doctor's race, prior to him becoming a Preserver. We may know of one more, and that is Priestess. However, we don't know if this individual has good or bad intention. There are many hidden dangers and threats within and out.
Best.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust that, not gonna lie.
I mean, just her artwork alone has me go, I don't think you're a good person. And
that's just amazing character design, right? Where you can just look at her, the way that her eyes are drawn, and it's like, yeah, I don't trust that.
There's something shifty there.
Of the supercontinent.
I really don't know
of
anything
Terra,
about her, though.
lurking in the sea or even the stars. If not handled carefully, it might result in the end of Terra. Here, in this section, we will discuss most prominent ones that we know of. Seaborn. They are one of the growing threats in Terra. As their name suggests, they came from the deep ocean, plaguing the nations of Aegir underwater and Iberia on land. Their evolutionary rates are extremely fast, enabling them to adapt to all sorts of things and simulate everything around them. Their colonies are connected by a hive mind. A cult known as the Church of the Deep are supporting the spread of the Seaborn. Collapsals. They are best described as extra-dimensional entities.
Okay, before we get to the Collapsals, I can never understand these cults that worship like the hive minds that assimilate everything into them. Where did it begin? Why do you think that you're going to benefit at all from that? Really? This just reminds me of all those cults that popped up in Dead Space.
I think, too, from my understanding, the Abyssal Hunters, who are like one of the main people fighting the Seaborn, are infected and slowly turning into Seaborn.
Oh, shit. Well, I guess...
So it's like, they get the power to fight them, but also eventually you'll just become one of them.
Yeah, okay, true. I guess that's a good reason to become an Abyssal Hunter. What were they called? I think they were just simply called the Hunters, right, from Bloodborne? Similar situation. And
one of my units, I think Deep Color is just a Seaborn. Like, I think she's just all...
Really? Is that why she can summon the tentacles at will?
Like, in her unit in the game, it says her race is undisclosed, but when I looked her up, like, on the wiki before, and she is a Seaborn.
That's interesting, though, because Seaborn are part of a hive mind, no? So is she a Seaborn, but she's able to live outside of that hive mind, somewhat similar to, like, Venom and the King in Black?
I'm not sure.
Originating from an unknown dimension. They are referred to as demons by other Terrans and possess an ability to corrupt other beings. Collapsals originated from two different places, a mystery gate in the Infinite Ice Fields and the Foreign Hotlands. Simply knowing their name is hazardous, hence why any form of knowledge about them is heavily suppressed by the Terran nations.
This is kind of familiar. Warhammer Fantasy and Warhammer 40k play by the same rules, where even knowing about the existence of chaos is enough for it to be born immediately wherever you are. So
I just finished recently reading the book There Is No Anti-Memetics Division, and that's basically the entire threat of that book is an entity that as soon as you know it exists, it's too late and you'll die, basically. They're trying to fight a threat that they can't even know they exist.
So it's part of a SCP, right?
It was an SCP tale, I believe, that they then had to kind of strip out the SCP specific stuff to publish it. But it's very, very SCP, yes.
Well, I believe
I liked it a lot.
Quite a while ago, when I was still covering SCP content here, I had learned about that. And it was such an interesting division because the people working in the division couldn't know about anything they were working on, or else they get got. And they have to make sure that nobody else could know about the thing that they didn't know about. It was I can't imagine working in that division, man. I don't even know why I'm here. I don't even know if I should be happy that I'm here.
In the book, there's like they're like, they started with like thousands of members, and then they're at the point in the book there's like less than 100 of them, and they're all just like, wait a minute,
what happened?
Didn't there used to be more of us? Where did they all go? I don't know.
And nobody can talk about it. Genius.
The Observer. We currently know nothing about this godlike being. It is shrouded in
the
mystery,
lumberjack.
and terror is currently hidden from its sight. For now. The only thing we do know, it was a reason that the first civilization has gone from terror, and that they had to build a fake sky to hide terror from its sight. Another thing we do know is that it wants terror, and it's coming whenever the races of terror, and you, like it or not. And that is where we come to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this video, found it helpful if you're a player, or someone interested in the lore. If you wish to know more about a certain nation, race, or anything within the Arknights universe, don't hesitate to suggest it in the comments below. Thank you for watching.
I love just how many different races there are, and they're all just really interesting.
I guess every grimdark universe has to have that looming threat, right? The ultimate big bad that is just going to devour everything in the universe, regardless of what you may want or attempting to resist. Is futile against such a being. I wonder if we'll ever have some sort of event in Arknights where the Observer does pop up as like our main threat. Because right now, I feel like if that ever happens, we're just done for. I don't think anybody's prepared or equipped to deal with that.
Well, I don't answer this if you know, but in Enfield, I know it takes place not like exclusively on Terra, but like, are they still worried about the Observer, or is that a thing of the past then at that point, or?
Yeah, I don't know specifically about that, but yeah, they're not on Terra anymore. Somewhere else.
Yeah.
How they get there, I suppose you'll find out. But yeah, as you said, I do enjoy the fact that there are so many different races, and even pulling from mythological beings too is great. I love the character designs for everybody, and how they interact with each other is also one of the more intriguing parts of the lore. At least that's what I find intriguing. But yes, that's gonna do it for this video, my dudes. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Hope you guys enjoyed your time here, and hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And 𝙉𝙀𝙒 and I will catch you in the next Arknights video. Later, dudes. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.